Hey everyone, today on People Now, we find out what Meghan Markle says in her backyard chat with feminist icon Gloria Steinem.
Lady Gaga putting herself through some chilling preparations for her performance at this weekend's MTV Video Music Awards. We'll explain.
Lori Loughlin terrified of going to prison. Find out what a source tells us about how the actress is prepping to serve time.
Chris Sullivan, the Bella twins, and more baby exclusives in this week's issue of People.
You know, I feel like this may be the craziest time in the country, probably in the last 50 years.
Journalist and host Carlos Watson giving us the inside scoop on his brand new talk show.
All that and more today on People Now. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. Hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. I'm Andrea Boehlke. What's up, Jeremy? What's new? What's poppin'?
Hey Andrea, it's good to see you. I'll tell you what's new. I've been hitting this green smoothie business every morning and I'm feeling really good.
Okay. What's in it?
I thought you'd never ask. It's got kale, it's got yogurts, and then I don't know what else. My wife makes it every morning with the girls, and then she hands it to me, and I'm so happy, and it's amazing. But anyway, I would just suggest to anyone out there, find whatever kind of healthy or boost type thing you need in the morning to get you going. It feels so good.
Wow, thank you, Jeremy.
You're welcome. That's my PSA for today. But there's actually a lot of real stuff to get to. Here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Meghan Markle and Gloria Steinem have come together for a historic backyard chat as Markle continues to use her voice to speak out about the importance of voting.
In a video preview shared by Makers Women on Instagram, Steinem greets Markle by welcoming her home, to which Markle replies that she is glad to be home for so many reasons. Markle also praises the feminist icon for her achievements. Take a listen.
People forget how hard women like you and so many others before you fought for us to just be where we are right now.
Well, it's just, I mean, if you don't vote, you don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it is the only place where we're all equal, the voting booth.
Steinem then shares that she's worried most about young people voting because they don't think they have an impact. But she urges young voters to vote because they will be alive longer than she will be and will suffer the consequences.
Markle then asks Steinem if she feels hopeful, and Steinem says that she does. The duo also talk about the importance of representation and how all women are, quote, linked, not ranked.
Plus, there's an adorable cameo appearance by Markle's dogs, Guy and Pula, which was quite humorous for Steinem because she jokes that dogs want to be on camera. Really adorable.
Very cute. When it comes to voting herself, Markle recently revealed that she plans on voting in the upcoming U.S. presidential election when she joined 99 other influential women to tell Marie Claire why she plans on voting.
She explained to the publication that she knows what it's like to have a voice and also what it's like to feel voiceless.
Lady Gaga is prepping for her performance at this year's MTV Video Music Awards the only way she knows how, taking a big ice bath in a steel tub. She shared a photo of herself on Instagram in that tub, captioning it with two emojis, a cloud with rain and a snowflake.
Gaga will take the stage at the VMAs on Sunday with fellow pop star Ariana Grande for the world premiere performance of their summer hit, Rain on Me. Gaga's performance will mark her first at the VMAs since 2013. That was when she opened the show with a colorful rendition of her song, Applause. Ariana last performed at the VMAs in 2018 with her song, God is a Woman.
And these two powerful women actually lead this year's nominations with 9 each, 7 of which are for their duet together. Their joint nominations include Video of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Collaboration. In addition, Lady Gaga announced earlier this month that she'll be performing another track from her most recent album, Chromatica.
Looking forward to that. And other performers you can expect at this Sunday's VMAs are Miley Cyrus, The Weeknd, and BTS, who just made history with their new music video, Dynamite. They actually racked up 100 million views on YouTube in just 24 hours. Really impressive and unbelievable. You've also got the Black Eyed Peas, you've got DaBaby, Doja Cat, Maluma, CNCO, and many more. It's going to be a packed night.
The 2020 Video Music Awards will air live Sunday, August 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern on MTV. The show will be held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and will follow extensive social distancing procedures and limits on the venue's capacity. The network has also indicated there will be some virtual elements to the ceremony.
A source has revealed to People that while Lori Loughlin and her husband Massimo Giannulli are relieved their long legal battle is over, Loughlin is still terrified about going to prison. A judge approved the couple's plea deal on Friday, August 21st, sentencing Loughlin to 2 months in jail. She must also pay a $150,000 fine and complete 150 hours of community service. Giannulli received 5 months in jail, a $250,000 fine, and 250 hours of community service. In May, the couple pleaded guilty to fraud charges. At the time, Loughlin told the judge, quote, "I wish I could go back and do things differently. I can only take responsibility and move forward." Loughlin and Giannulli were accused of paying the ringleader of a college admissions scam, Rick Singer, $500,000 to falsely designate their daughters, Isabella Rose and Olivia Jade, as recruits to the University of Southern California crew team. They denied any wrongdoing for more than a year before finally pleading guilty. And while the case has put pressure on the couple, a Loughlin source says the mom of two is very worried about her daughters. Another family source reveals it's been particularly hard for Olivia Jade, saying that the YouTube star's career has been affected because of the decisions her parents made. Loughlin and Giannulli have been ordered to report to jail on November 19th and have requested that their sentences not overlap so that they can be present for their daughters. The pair have also requested that they serve their time at low-security prison camps in California. The Loughlin source says that she's doing everything she can to prepare for her time behind bars, including staying healthy because of fears of contracting coronavirus in prison. The source says that she's taking supplements to boost her immune system, adding, quote, "It's definitely something that she's been losing sleep about."
Actress Camilla Luddington has welcomed her second child with her husband, Matthew Allen, a little baby boy named Lucas. And in this week's issue of People, we are revealing this adorable exclusive photo of their son, who Luddington lovingly calls her little lion. So cute. She announced the news on Instagram Tuesday, saying in part, after what felt like a year-long third trimester, it finally happened. Lucas joins 3-year-old big sister Hayden, and Luddington tells us exclusively that Hayden was so giddy when her new baby brother arrived.
Now, although the actress had been pregnant before, it was much more stressful this time around considering the COVID-19 crisis. She tells People she had more daily anxiety, which changed the experience. She also reveals that she had to wear a mask while in labor. And while she initially cried at the thought, she assures other moms who have similar fears that she honestly forgot that she even had the mask on.
Luddington revealed this past March that she and Alan would be adding another little one to their family. She posted this cute picture of herself at Disneyland with Cinderella, captioned in part, "Me, I'm just gonna do a super casual pregnancy announcement. Also me, I need princesses." Luddington has not been shy about posting her baby bump over the last few months on social media. From posing in the pool to even mowing the lawn, she was rocking it.
There you go. And we have another baby exclusive in this week's issue. Here are the first official photos of This Is Us star Chris Sullivan and his wife Rachel's baby boy. The couple welcomed their first child, Bear Maxwell Sullivan, on July 28th. Look at how cute he is there. Sullivan tells us that Bear already likes dancing, that he eats a lot, he rests a lot. His wife adds that it's been really peaceful and wonderful since his birth. Good for them.
Sullivan has been having fun keeping his baby secret on social media. He announced the birth with a photo of baby Bear's feet, and he posted another shot of Bear alongside their pup Sally, cleverly hiding Bear's face with a bear emoji. And he posted a sweet video featuring a close-up of the baby's hand before panning over to one of the dogs, and he captioned the clip, "Quiet mornings." Very happy for both of these growing families.
All right, in this week's issue of People, Total Bella's stars, Brie and Nikki Bella, introduced their newborn sons. Meet Buddy and Mateo.
For the past few weeks, the Bella twins have had their hands and hearts full after each welcoming a baby boy born just 22 hours apart. Nikki and her fiance, Artem Chigvintsev, welcomed son Mateo Artumovich Chigvintsev on July 31st, while Brie and her husband, Daniel Bryan, welcomed son Buddy Desert Danielson on August 1st. The sisters have embraced their journey to motherhood together and shared with us how they are feeling today. Watch.
I mean, actually, we're feeling amazing, super excited. I mean, I have to say, like, being a mom, it's what I've wanted my whole life, and the fact that it's here, I'm so just in love and happy. Like, I know all the moms always talk about this feeling like once you're a mom, like, you're gonna feel this love you've never felt before, and it's just so true.
Yeah, it's crazy because obviously we feel very tired. That's what happens when you're on an infant schedule.
I've been up since 3. Of course, though, one day my little boy decides not to sleep in the morning, so I've gone straight through.
But it is like what Nikki said, the love is just so overpowering that even though you're so tired, that bliss just takes over.
Nikki, who's a first-time mom, later revealed to us that she and Artem were so not prepared, as she put it, when her water broke. But no worries, Nikki has proved to be a total champ. Watch this.
I labored for 22 hours, and I pushed for 2 hours, and hottest day so far in Arizona. It was 118 degrees. Our room wouldn't get colder than 76 degrees. So I was burning hot the whole time. Then you have to wear a mask because of COVID. And our doctor, though, said I was one of the most competitive people she has ever seen in labor.
She said she saw this look in Nicole's eye.
So I had 2 more rounds of pushing until she was like, you're gonna have to have a C-section. Like, because he had been stuck in my birth canal for so long, and both of our heart rates were actually getting really high. Sometimes they drop, like hers with Birdie. Ours was getting super high, and my blood pressure. So she goes, you have 2 more rounds of pushing, and then that's it, you know? And I looked at Artem and I go, put on the Lumineers. And literally we hey-hoed and Ophelia Mateo into this world. I like looked at my doctor like, no, he's coming out vaginally. I mean, I literally almost tore off the handlebars. I have never pushed so hard in my life. Like, I've never had a match like that. I have never had a soccer game like that. I've never had a workout like that. Like, I told Brie, I've never had my ass kicked so hard. But like, in my head was like, no, he's coming out vaginally.
I'm so happy for them. Jeremy, remember when they came into studio, they announced their pregnancies, they were so excited.
Yeah, they were. And you know, these two have done so much together through their lives and their careers. Of all people, I can understand how the two of them together through this already exciting experience would take it to the next level. We're so happy for them.
Yeah, and Nikki later shares a sweet anecdote on how she knew Artem was going to be an amazing dad. Congrats to them.
All right, stay with us. We'll have more with Nikki and Brie Bella as they celebrate the birth of their baby boys. Plus, Carlos Watson is revealing his dream talk show guests and what it was like the first time he met Oprah. Stick around for that.
We are gearing up for the Emmy Awards as the ceremony is set to go virtual for the very first time. And in this week's issue of People, we are catching up with some of this year's nominees to hear how they have been spending their time at home and how they will be celebrating during a year when television seemed to bring everyone together.
Kevin Hart, who's nominated for Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program for his Netflix docuseries, Kevin Hart, Don't Bleep This Up, reveals that he and his family have been spending their time together having intense game nights.
Hart says that he's learned that there are some real sore losers in his family, including his wife, Aniko Parrish, and his daughter, who both get pretty angry during game night. Hart also jokes about how the pandemic has changed him. Take a listen.
My thighs have gotten bigger in the pandemic. So I don't know if you want to include that, but it's just information. So you can just take it and do what you want. But I wanted to make sure I told you.
Kevin also opened up about his docuseries being nominated and jokes about his initial reaction to the news. Watch.
The moment I learned of my nomination, calls from my team saying, Kev, congrats. Me saying congrats for what? What did I do? When I get calls from my team, I get nervous. I automatically think I'm in trouble or something else happened. So I'm numb to that. So I was like, what is it now? And it was actually good news. Ultimately, it was just dope for something to be recognized as a good piece of content that you gave your all to. You know, from a creative aspect, this is putting on a producer hat, creative hat. This is empowering your team to help you develop an idea that was new and different for you. So it's all arrows point to good in this particular case. It's my first one, hopefully not my last, but it's just a good feeling. But it's not something that I'm seeking after, you know? I'm not searching for the approval. That's not my reason for doing things. So when it comes in and it's like a shock, it's like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they thought that this was good enough for that. Dope. So, you know, if things point in my direction and, you know, I win for this particular piece of content, I'm blown away by it. If I don't, I'm still blown away by the nomination. So, you know, it's already a win for me in my book. It's already a win for my team, my company, and that's what's important.
Meanwhile, Bradley Whitford, who is nominated for supporting actor in a drama for his performance in The Handmaid's Tale, reveals he has a tux ready to go for the virtual ceremony, but also says he's considering doing something a little weirder. Can't wait to see what that weird thing is, Jeremy.
Right? Yeah, like what's he got up his sleeve? We'll find out. Also, Insecure star Yvonne Orji reveals that she and Issa Rae had champagne and tacos together to celebrate their Emmy nominations, and says that she told her stylist that she has to have a gown for the big night so she can feel like she's there. Kenan Thompson jokes that it would be nice for him and his wife, Christina, to just dress up and sit on the couch together and be slobs as they watch the show. I think a lot of people are going to like the relaxed kind of vibe.
Maybe, but I also think people want to get out there and dress up. So if you have a chance to dress up, even if it's in your own house, you may as well,
I guess that's true, yeah.
We'll see, you know?
We'll find out, won't we?
For more on how these Emmy nominees are planning to celebrate this year's virtual show on September 20th, check out this week's issue of People, available on newsstands Friday.
Sherri Shepherd is exclusively opening up to People in this week's issue about her career's highs and lows. During her 25-year journey, she's been able to navigate through Hollywood with relentless optimism, swerving from success to failure to success again. Shepherd, who really made a name for herself at comedy clubs, shares the story of the time she was working as a legal secretary and found herself with some of her coworkers at the famous Comedy Store in LA. Shepherd was making everyone at her table laugh, and it was during an act by comedian Andrew Dice Clay that one of her coworkers turned to her and said, "You're as funny as him. You should do that." So she did. Then in 1998, Shepherd was starring on Suddenly Susan when she was presented with the opportunity to guest star on Friends. She says, quote, "I remember this black security guard was like, 'Girl, we're rooting for you.' But Shepherd wasn't asked back, and the show later faced criticism for its lack of diversity. When Suddenly Susan was canceled, Shepherd returned as a legal secretary when she worked for Friends star David Schwimmer's father's law firm. She tells us he would bring all his clients over and say, 'This is Sherri Shepherd. She was on my son's show.' Shepherd says she was so depressed. But her career took off again in 2007 when she joined The View. She co-hosted the daytime talk show for 7 years, and she tells us it was the most painful experience that I've ever gone through. That's her quote, but she says it was the best experience as well. She says Barbara Walters offered her some game-changing advice, saying that Walters said, "I love you. I just need you to read a book, dear, and learn to defend what you believe and speak up." And now, Shepherd is working hard on new gigs, including Netflix's Mr. Iglesias and co-hosting her podcast, Two Funny Mamas, with Kim Whitley, all while also juggling being a mom. Like many black parents raising a child, she is experiencing fears alongside proud moments. She tells us, quote, "I'm anxious to let him leave the house without me. I'm walking a tightrope here of keeping the joy and the innocence in his life and also equipping him."
In this week's People cover story, the Bella twins are exclusively opening up about their newborn sons, Buddy and Mateo.
First-time parents Nikki Bella and fiance Artem Chigvintsev are just in love with baby Mateo, aka Teo. Nikki is sharing details of the sweet moment she knew fiance Artem was going to be an amazing dad. Take a listen.
It made me so emotional. It's crazy because like you're already in love with this person, right? You created a life with them, we're engaged. But in that moment, I had fallen so much more in love with him because to see him be so emotional holding his son, and I could just see this caretaker form, like this man that's gonna protect this little boy for the rest of his life. And just seeing the emotion in his face, it made me like melt. And I was like, we need to plan our wedding. And like, I need to lock this in. But it just melted me. And I could just tell in that moment that he was gonna be such an amazing father. And you just rarely see that side of men. So when you see them just let go and be so emotional while they're holding something you love so much is like, oh, I mean, the best feeling ever.
All the feels. For more on the Bella twins and their newborn sons, check out this week's issue of People.
We've got a very special happy birthday shout out today for Melissa McCarthy. She turns 50 years old Wednesday. We have Melissa to thank for making us laugh for 2 decades now, from her breakout role as Suki on Gilmore Girls to the now classic Bridesmaids. If you've seen it, you know Melissa didn't hold anything back. So it only made sense to honor her in the latest episode of People and Katie Couric's #SeeHerStory. It's a weekly video series celebrating female trailblazers from the past 100 years. In it, we learn all about how Melissa is taking on Hollywood her way, including just how hard she worked to make it in the first place. Watch.
Born in 1970 to a farming family in Plainfield, Illinois, Melissa moved to New York at 20 in search of an acting career.
Is it true you had $45?
I
Something
think I had
like
35.
that? Oh, it was 35.
Yeah, I don't think I went into the 40s. Fancy pants here.
She had trouble breaking out of the New York comedy scene, so decided to try her luck in LA, where she found work doing everything except acting.
I shucked clams. I was a waiter for 900 years. I was a nanny. I worked in retail. I worked in restaurants. I worked in a nursing home.
A lot of odd jobs there, but it all paid off. And to see more on Melissa McCarthy and all the #SeeHerStory episodes, you can head to people.com.
George, what were you like as a kid? Like, if I had met you in high school and we've been buddies, like what were you like?
Let's see, I was an only child, and all my friends had either brothers or brothers and sisters, and I was raised by grandparents. And I was kind of an introvert. I think I had some pretty good teachers that saw that in me.
The Carlos Watson Show just launched on YouTube this month, and already Carlos has hosted long-form, wide-ranging interviews with a group of even wider-ranging celebrities. I spoke to him all about the show and what's to come. Watch. You really value having a wide range of perspectives and different types of people, everyone from like Andrew Yang, Bethany Frankel, Paris Hilton, Terry Crews. You've got a broad net you're casting. Talk to me about why that's important to you and how you pick your guests.
You know, I feel like this may be the craziest time in the country, probably in the last 50 years. Pandemic, racial conversations, recession, robots coming, like lots of stuff's going on. And if ever there was a moment where I feel like, honestly, you have to allow more and different people into the conversation, like right now is the moment. When I say let them into the conversation, I don't mean for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or only stay in one lane and talk to them about what everyone expects them to talk about, but I mean the willingness to have a conversation with Malcolm Gladwell or Bethany Frankel or Roxane Gay or Alex Rodriguez about something you wouldn't expect. And that's what we're trying to do on this show.
When you know you're sitting down with a politician or an author or a celebrity, a pop culture icon, do you feel different about it in terms of prep? Do you have different goals in mind? What's that like for you?
You know, I probably do a little bit, but if I'm honest, what I really feel is someone's energy in that moment. You know what I mean? Like if you get on with Karamo Brown or Andrew Yang and they're like in it right out of the gate, versus someone else who may be a little more shy, a little more held back, like you kind of go with someone's emotion and their feeling a little bit. And the wild thing I would say in this moment is I think there are politicians who feel more like actors. I'd say that there are musicians who feel more like authors. And so even if you thought you knew who they were pre-COVID, like you're meeting people and realizing that they're completely different and that they're in a new space. And maybe that's part of the magic is kind of learning more about Gabrielle Union or learning something different about, you know, someone like a Mark Cuban.
For people who are just finding out about your show and what you're doing, what are you most excited? What can you tease in terms of an interview coming up that people can sink their teeth into?
Oh my, well, so we got a lot of good folks coming on the Carlos Watson Show on YouTube. Some of them are musicians. I'm looking forward to having your girl Lizzo. I'm looking forward to having more political folks like Mayor Pete. I love the entrepreneurs, the Mark Cubans of the world, but your girl Tomi Lahren is coming. Tomi Lahren is stopping by the Carlos Watson Show. All kind of fireworks ensue. That's all I'm telling you.
Woo! Boy, that is a good tease.
Yes.
I would
there you go.
love to see that exchange for sure.
Yes, yes.
Do you have a dream guest that hasn't landed there yet?
You know, two people I would kind of put out there. One is I got to talk to your boy Putin. Got to talk to Vladimir Putin. Like,
not my boy.
You know what I mean? What's going on? What are you thinking about? Like, honestly, I got to talk to this former spy and figure out what the deal is and how he's thinking about the world. And then I told you I'm looking forward to talking to Lizzo. I think that's going to be a big deal. I'm really excited. We've had a bunch of good people from Houston on the show already. And I just feel like, you know, who she is, not only as a musician, but as a person, as someone who at one point, unfortunately, was homeless and sleeping in her car, didn't surrender. I like that. I like that. I like everything about that. And now that crazy ass WAP song is out, got to talk to your girl Cardi B. Got to understand what she's talking about. She's having a good time, so I got to talk to her too.
Let me talk to you about this really quickly. Black Women Own the Conversation. This is a show that your production company, Aussie Media, received an Emmy nomination for that. That's incredible. Congratulations. What's it like for you to be a part of a project like this, to be honored in that way?
You know what? The special moment was Oprah Winfrey agreeing to let us work with her. I've been such a fan of hers, like everybody. I feel like she's one of those people who really, honestly, has like changed so many people's lives, has made us read differently, love differently, treat our friends differently. And when she looked at the show that we had built originally for PBS and said, I want it, but I really want you to focus on Black women, like that was as warm an embrace as you can get. So the Emmy nod, I'm excited about, but when the Queen comes, that's where the good stuff starts. And look, you know, you look at your girl Kamala Harris, and you look at a whole variety of other people, and you know that there is a moment in which we have to allow, again, more people into the conversation in different ways. And I think that this show does it. And season 1 was a winner. And as you said, got an Emmy nod out of the gate. And I'm excited to see what season 2 will do.
What is the takeaway, maybe the surprise thing, sort of like expectations versus reality when it comes to encountering and working with Oprah?
You know, just her kindness and her generosity. And I know that, again, may just sound like a made up thing, but the first time I met her, she was running late. We were meeting at her apartment, and she was running late. She was busy, obviously had a lot of things to do. And she sent her chef, Art, over, who ended up cooking a meal for everyone while we waited. And then when she got there, even though she was dog tired, it'd been a full day, it was late, you could see that everyone really wanted to talk to her, and she never seemed like she was in a rush. And you and I know what we'd be like if we had like a bunch of people in our house and it was 7, 8 o'clock and we were exhausted. The last thing you'd want to do is hang out and be like, yeah, Carlos, that's really interesting. But you know, she was super generous and big of heart. And so that's good to see. That's good to see. I'm sure it's not easy being that person. And so I've got a ton of admiration for her in that way.
I would be irritated in that scenario unless I had a personal chef who was making food for everyone. In which case, I think you walk in smiling. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, Jerry, that's not a bad gig. And if you get a personal chef, I promise I'll be over at your spot every day of the week.
You're invited. There. When that moment happens, you've got an all-time invite. And I hope I get it from you too, because it might happen.
You get the same. You get the same. Reciprocal. I love it. Reciprocal all the way.
And remember, you can watch The Carlos Watson Show weekdays on Aussie Media's YouTube channel. Make sure to check that out. All right, coming up tomorrow, I'm chatting with singer-songwriter Lettucey ahead of the release of her new independent album.
Plus, Sadie Robertson Huff is dishing on life as a newlywed, a possible Duck Dynasty reboot, and more. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.